everyone, Josh here with Overland AZ. We are out in Bulldog Canyon in the Tonto National Forest, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Tuff Stuff Alpine 61 rooftop tent. So here is the new Alpine 61 rooftop tent from Tuff Stuff Overland. This video we're going to do more of a first impressions. I don't want to do a huge review on it since it's just going to be our first night out in it, but want to kind of show you guys how to set it up. We'll show you how to tear it down tomorrow and just give you first impressions on it and how we like it. One of the unique things about this tent, it is a clamshell, hard shell. You'll see we have latches in the back here so that the back end can pop and raise up, but it's a dual pop-up. You can see two sets of struts there and then some latches on the front. So you open the back up first. You can run it just like a wedge. If it's really windy, I think that would be ideal. But you also have the option of popping open the front and raising the front up, and then it becomes just a huge, basically box inside. All right, let's take a look at how to open up this tent. So that's it to get it to the wedge position. Pretty simple, just two latches that you flip up. You can add carabiners or locks on there if you want a little bit more security on the tent. We have a ton of space inside the tent for storage. In here, this is the back entrance. There's also entrance on either side as well, and hooks for the ladder on the back as well as on the sides. We're gonna use our 270 awning on here, so we'll be climbing in through the side over here. But inside storage, we have kind of a heavy, thick blanket. We have a down blanket, all three of our pillows, a couple puffy blankets in there, the ladder, there's a shoe bag in here, and some tension rods. So plenty of space to store stuff, which is really, really nice. Now the front section opens just like the rear. There's a latch on either side here. Walk around the other side and unlatch this one. And then once you have both latches undone, we'll just lift up and that half will pop open. And so there you have the fully open tent. You can see how much extra headroom that would add up there. And we'll climb up and take a look inside now. So plenty of space in here, lots of headroom. I like the overhead bag storage, and there's some pockets on the side. And one thing to notice, this is complete blackout material. There is no light whatsoever coming through the material. So if you zip up all the windows completely, it's pitch black in here. And one of the reviews that I read was a guy who suffered from migraines. When he wakes up in the morning with the sun coming through his tent, he specifically bought this one for that reason. He really liked that feature. We'll probably leave some windows open a little bit for some ventilation, and otherwise we'll sleep through the day when the sun comes up. One thing I like about this is the ladder comes with a full bag, which is really nice when it gets muddy on the bottom. Easy to pack away and store inside the tent. All right, so we got the ladder on. Just hooks right up here, and there's some carabiners that clip on so that you can't accidentally knock the ladder away and then not have a way out of the tent, which is really nice. Comes with a shoe bag that you can clip either onto the ladder, or you could probably clip this in different places. This is one of the nicer shoe bags that I've seen from Tuff Stuff. It's got a couple different pockets in there, and then a large deep pocket in the back with drainage on the underside. So if your shoes are wet or you want to put some wet clothes in there to dry, really good for that. It is fully set up right now with the exception of just a couple things. So there is a rain fly or like an awning that comes out over the back. And then there's also some rain flies you can attach to the side to come out over the side entrances. It's supposed to get really, really windy tonight. I was seeing 30-mile-an-hour gusts in the forecast. So just to kind of keep things as tidy as possible, I'm not gonna put all that stuff on here. We actually want to be able to close one half of this if the wind gets really, really heavy, and we want the hard shell to kind of help block the wind. So we'll leave those off for now, but that is an option. Let's climb up in the tent and take a look inside. Inside the tent, we have This is like a 2.5 inch memory foam mattress, I think. This being the 61 model, it's 61 inches wide, I believe. It's the length of a king size bed, the width of a queen. You got your other entrance on that side. This whole thing opens up here. We'll open everything up in a second. The front opens up, this side opens up. So you have full 360 views, and then you have some storage up here. I want to show you real quick just how good this blackout material is. So you can see it's clearly middle of day. It's probably 2:30 right now in the afternoon. Super sunny. I have all the other windows zipped up in here. And so we'll close this one up. And it's literally completely pitch black in here. So if you're someone that likes to sleep well into the morning or take an afternoon nap, you will love this fabric. That is actually really nice. Let's open up all the windows. So here's the back of the tent. You can see you have a mesh screen here. Here's the side where I came in on, and there's a mesh screen here as well. Let's open up the opposite side. Mesh screen. You can see we'll have our awning opened up over there. Now this is a window here. And you can roll this up and tuck it up nice and neat on here, so it's almost seamless. We'll do that in a minute. Another window on the front of the tent with a screen. And then lastly, window on this side with a screen. So let me get these rolled up and out of the way. All right, there we go. Tent is fully opened up. And you can see complete 360-degree views. Good view of 4 peaks, a prominent mountain here in the Phoenix area, or just outside of Phoenix. But this is really gonna be great for kind of setting up any way that you want in some of those epic spots and getting a good view no matter what. Letting a lot of breeze through, getting a lot of ventilation in the tent. Very cool. Last couple things I want to show you inside the tent. There's pockets on either side, so you can throw keys, wallet, phone, whatever you carry inside your tent. There's another pocket up higher. There's Velcro on the side, and you'll see why in a second. So on this side, in this pouch, there's wiring and controls for the LED light, and the LED light is Velcro backed. So you could either have it on this side or that side, or you could add a second light if you want to have 2. And then the last thing I want to show you is it comes with a condensation mat, which is really nice. A lot of tents you have to buy these separately. This one comes with the tent included, so nice addition. Just realized this as I was getting out of the tent. I had noticed earlier that there's kind of some plastic and paracord on the zippers, on all the zippers to keep them from rattling, but I hadn't noticed these are YKK zippers, so nice high quality zippers on here as well. Now, as far as mounting the tent, it uses traditional rooftop tent hardware. So you're gonna have 2 bars on the bottom of the tent with a C-channel and a metal plate that slides in with the bolt. One of the challenges that we had with the Rhino rack is the bars on the Rhino rack also run the same direction, and it didn't line up perfectly. So trick I saw online is just kind of measure where those crossbars run, and you can actually drill holes right through the Rhino rack. I don't plan on taking this tent off anytime soon. So we drilled 2 holes at each corner. The bolts go through the rack itself, and then there's the holding plate on the bottom. And so it's really solid, and it's also pretty low profile. When I had the Alpha tent on here, I used tent risers that made installation maybe a little bit easier, but it also raised the tent up an extra 1.5 inches. All right, I'm gonna get the awning set up now, hang out at camp here with the kids and the wife, and we'll check back in later.
They swoop down and snatch the rattlesnakes like this.
What does?
That hawk.
What kind of hawk is it?
Red-tailed hawk.
Hey, Imogen, you want to take a nap?
Yeah.
Up there? Yeah? Okay, let's take a nap.
Dad here.
How is it up there, buddy?
Good.
So if you've been following on Instagram, you know that Clifford, our 2015 JKU, just Had to get an engine replacement on it, so trying to get some highway miles in before we take that out again. I had to take out our whole drawer system, or I wanted to take it all out before we took it to the shop, just in case we needed anything for camping. And conveniently, it's actually really easy to just slide into the back of the LR3. Gives us all of our camp gear, so all of our kitchen gear and everything's in there, the fridge. And then we just got this Zero Breeze Elect Hive battery generator. I'm gonna do a full video on this. But we have the fridge running off that right now. Really, really impressed with that so far, but we'll get some more details on that in the future. Peak of the wildflower bloom in this part of Arizona, and it is not disappointing here. Lots of really pretty flowers all over the place as we were driving in and here all around camp. Really good time of year to come out and see the desert, show you some extra color. Tag. Good morning, everyone. Having a little bit of coffee here at camp. You can't beat waking up in the desert in a spot like this. It is just so beautiful out here. We'll walk around and give you some of our first impressions of the tent, but overall, first impressions are good. One of the first things to note with this kind of tent is there's no rain fly. You have your hard shell on top, the supporting platform, and then the base. And there's just not much to move around in the wind, which is a good thing. So last night we had 30-mile-an-hour gusts according to the forecast, and the tent was virtually silent. We slept really, really good because of that. And in previous rooftop tents where you have like a separate rain fly or different window fold outs that you do, those can get pretty windy at night, and sometimes to the point where you feel like you need to put earplugs in to sleep. And that was not the case with this tent, which was really nice. So definitely appreciate that. Up here on the side of the tent, you can see just how nice and tight the material is. There's nothing to flap around. And then on this panel as well. So we did leave the bungee cord on the upper one, which I think probably helps some, just kind of pull it in a little bit, but even on the lower one, nothing to really move around and create wind noise. For some ventilation, just open the corners. We opened a little bit less overnight because it did get a little chilly, but that let plenty of ventilation in, and we had zero condensation inside the tent. Morning, buddy.
Good morning.
How was your sleep in the tent?
Good.
Good, did you like it? Yeah, you ready to come down?
Yeah.
All right, come on down, buddy. packed up here at camp. We're getting ready to close up the Alpine rooftop tent. First thing we're gonna do is go up there and organize all of our bedding so that we can close the tent down on top of it. We're gonna get all this stuff folded up and kind of placed in this section here, and we'll leave room for our ladder right here, and we'll be able to start closing up the tent. I'm gonna leave some of the windows open, at least partially open, because this thing's really airtight if it's all closed up, and so when you try to close both halves of this, it really pushes the fabric out and makes it kind of difficult to close. So just leave some windows open so the air can escape as you're closing it, and we'll jump out and close the front half first. Around here we can take our shoe bag off the ladder. We can unclip the carabiners that hold the ladder in place so you don't lose it. See, everything is packed inside here. Tension rods, ladder, all of our bedding. We'll zip this up. And then the last thing, you have this bungee cord here. I just hook it right there when we get to camp, but we'll bring that up. And you want to put that about halfway on here, so when we pull this down and we close the lid, that'll bring all the fabric in and get a nice seal on the side here so we don't let any water in. That is it. That's all there is to setting up and tearing down this tent. Super easy, really fast. These struts are really strong on here, so it helps open it up, and you got some pull straps to help pull it down. Nice latches on here. I like the handles. That makes things easy. The hinges are really beefy. There's also, you can see crossbars up on top. I don't know the weight specifications for those or what their weight capacity is. I'll try to find out and put it in the video here. But I believe you could throw some kayaks or some mountain bikes up there and probably leave them on there. And I think I read on their site that you can leave some of that stuff up there while the tent's open also, which is kind of unique to this tent. I always do one quick walk around the vehicle before we leave camp. I'm notorious for leaving coffee mugs on bumpers or forgetting to latch or zip something. So quick walk around before you leave camp. Make sure your vehicle is all cleaned up and everything's secured. And check around camp. Make sure you're not leaving any trash. And then you're good to go. Overall first impressions from one night out, I really like this tent. We're gonna put some more time in this. We're gonna spend plenty more nights on it before we give any kind of long-term reviews on it. But again, initial impressions are really good. If this video helped you at all, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the trail.